Hey there, Coastal Bend. Meteorologist Carly Smith here. Hope everybody is ready for a wonderful weekend forecast that we've got ahead of us. It is looking so fabulous, and so I am just going to show you that forecast right away, because why not? So here's a look at that forecast. We are looking at the next 3 days, temperatures hanging out right around 80. So it's going to feel really fabulous, especially Friday and Saturday, because we've got low dew points. So let's take a look outside right now. Hey there, everyone. It is 10:02 at the current filming, but don't worry, we are going to be talking about this forecast for the weekend. So you can share this, let all your friends know how fabulous it's going to be. David brought the popcorn. I hope it's that entertaining. Anyway, here's a look at our temperature, 71 degrees. Wind is out of the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. So it's that northeast wind that has our dew point down to 52 right now. That is such an amazing dew point. And so it's those northerly winds behind a weak front. Yeah, we had a weak cold front that moved through. All that's done is drier conditions out. So you can see the dew points across the area. Let's go back. Across the area, 40s for Beeville, Alice, so pretty much right there around 50 and into the 40s has us smiling even into this afternoon and evening. We keep smiles on this dew point muggy meter into Saturday. However, by the time we're looking ahead to Sunday, we start to turn a little more humid. And so that has to do with the wind. It's back out of the south. Even on Saturday, we've got southeast winds back. We're south-southeast on Sunday. So as the wind picks up also on Sunday, we'll talk about why that's going to happen. All of those factors combined leads to more humidity. So it's not going to feel quite as pleasant on our Sunday as it's going to feel on our Saturday. But here's a look at the muggy meter. We are trending on the drier side both today and Saturday. Then Sunday, those dew points burst up. Not really burst, but we are looking at humidity levels back there with a dew point around 60 all the way up to around 70 by the time we get into Tuesday. Then there's some hope for some drier weather, maybe some cooler weather by the middle of next week. We'll talk about the conflicting forecast coming up. But first, yeah, here's another reminder. So as the dew point goes up, it is going to feel humid again with a south-southeast breeze that's a little stronger on Sunday as well. We're talking 12 to 22 miles per hour. So today and even into Saturday, high pressures to our north, we're closer to the center of that high, so our winds are going to stay on the lighter side, especially on Saturday. But on Sunday, the high kind of builds off to our east, right? It's going to pull up the Gulf moisture, and additionally, it's going to allow our wind speeds to pick up as well. Now, we're not going to see really strong winds because there's not another cold front or system on the way immediately, but there is one that is taking aim by the middle of next week. But there's, like I mentioned, some conflicts that are going to be going on. But until that front arrives, we are trending very warm and rather humid throughout the first half of next week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, really warm and humid. Then by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday, we start to see a front moving south. Now, the latest trends with this, specifically the European model, have that front kind of stalling, and then maybe it moves through later in the week, but it's not going to be quite as strong because of that stall and because of where that push that moves it on out of the way is coming from. And so there's some conflicts in the forecast, and so when we take a look at the upper level energy, here's why. So that high pressure ridge is still really strong, right? That cooler air coming out of the Pacific Northwest was supposed to help provide. So here's our high through the weekend. Then it kind of strengthens a little bit Monday into Tuesday, but that cooler air, look where it originates, way up to the north, through Alaska, down the islands into the Pacific Northwest. So that's some much cooler air, right? That's going to be making its way across the plains. That's going to want to move into Texas. However, the combination of that high still holding as strong as it can, and that humid circle that I've highlighted on the southern coast of Los Angeles, that air is originating in the Pacific, somewhere between kind of Hawaii and California. And so that's not going to be as cold. That air is going to be moving across the southwest at the same time that cooler air is wanting to advance south, and that's going to weaken that colder surge of air if this scenario plays out, right? So this scenario would mean less of a cold front and more of a stall to our north, and our temperatures won't fall as much. And so you see that in the 7-day. There was hope yesterday. It looked like we had a pretty good chance of temperatures being in the 60s next week. I still dropped temperatures with the hope of that front kind of moving through by Thursday, but it's more 70s now, and we may even trend warmer than that at this point. But overall, this is what we're looking at in your 7-day forecast. Those temperatures in the mid-80s looking pretty nice. Let's look for fun at what the other models are doing, right? Why not? So I love the hot weather in South Texas too, David. I love it. That's why I chose to move here. Not for the cold. Okay, so we're gonna switch the model. So this is going to be the GFS. We're gonna let it load. We probably should switch the wind particles also. There we go. So we'll see if the little highlighted areas play out similarly with the GFS. They are very similar. So this one kind of has the front merging with that humid air, and essentially the latest model must still be loading, essentially moving through stronger, but a little bit slower. Maybe Wednesday night into Thursday morning is when this model has that front pushing through. So the GFS is still trending with a chance for colder air. The Euro has it stalling more so to the north and then not pushing the cold front through until that humid section moves through. So they're similar but different. Now let's change this one also. Okay, so now this is the GFS for this model as well. Playing out very similar, maybe a little bit more wind Sunday from the GFS. Then here's the front. So this one would be stalling a little further to the south, so more so through Houston, or at least moving through. I don't even know if it's stalling yet, but Wednesday, 10 a.m., it's at Houston. Uh-oh. Another weak cold front. It could go either way, Zach. We could have a really strong cold front, or a strong cold front, or a weak cold front. Right now, it is trending on the weaker side versus the stronger side. So, hey, Joe, what's up? So this is the GFS model, which has it moving through. So we're not stalling the front here. We're going to just plow it on through. So there's the front Wednesday around 1, which is what all models were saying. Wednesday around noon, the front will move through. And so the GFS is trending consistent, which we like. The more consistency a model has run to run, the better and more reliable it's going to be. But the European model does have a history of being a little bit more on the accurate side for long-range forecasting. And so it's hard to trust the GFS forecast, even though it's been staying fairly consistent, right? So the GFS still has the low moving through, and that's going to bring us a better shot at rain next week than maybe the European does. But with the Euro having the low move through as the front, that puts it later. So they both kind of have this feature of the low passing through Thursday into Friday. GFS a little bit better on rain, but the Euro also providing a chance for a spotty shower in both scenarios. So some light rain maybe at the end of next week. The exact timing and how far temperatures fall is going to be dependent on how strong that Arctic air actually does come into play. And of course, the closer we get, the better our forecasting will be, especially once we get our hands on the shorter range, higher resolution model data. So that's kind of just like, you know, when you're looking through, or if you wear glasses, right? Looking at the long range models, the GFS and the Euro, that is essentially like looking at things without your glasses. Everything's a little blurry. Now, it depends on how bad your vision is, but if your vision isn't horrible, but things show up blurry, you can tell where things are, but it's a little blurry. That's like the GFS and the European model. Then once we get into the shorter range models, they're higher resolution. So that's like putting your glasses on and actually seeing all the finer details of the forecast. And so that obviously gets better within 3 days. The BAS models are really within more of a 48 to 36 hour range, but regardless, it's just some little insight on how my job works. Hopefully that helps with understanding our forecast and discrepancies that show up into the end of the 7-day, because it's tough. It's not easy trying to figure out which model to go with, but that's the job, y'all. And so I'm leaning more toward maybe a European scenario, especially just this time of year, but depending on how strong that Arctic air does come in, it will overpower pretty much anything. And so we'll see, but right now I'm trending more 70s by the end of the week, and so not a huge drop, but at least we'll be closer to normal. Hoping the GFS is right. I mean, it's been the more consistent model run, so it might win this time around. So we'll continue to keep an eye on the trends. That's what we're here for, to let you know when things change. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this weekend forecast, especially today and tomorrow. Like, it doesn't get much better than this in South Texas in February. We'll be on the warmer side, but drier side. So it's going to feel really pleasant outside. Hope everyone enjoys the weekend. Hope you have some great weekend plans. The good news is no weather is going to change your plans because we've got great weather all the way around. Thanks for watching this update. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith. Don't forget, you can always keep up to date with the latest forecast at KIIITV.com. And if you add the dash, I guess, or the slash mark, however you word it, app or app, that's going to help you download our app to your phone, and then you can get updates live. You can get notifications anytime the weather is worth notifying. I will do so in the morning, so that's always a great tool to have. And of course, this app is updated by your team of local meteorologists right here at 3 News. Thanks again for watching. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith.